So did you know that in order for a forest to stay healthy, it's actually really important for that forest to have a massive wildfire every now and then? You know, a situation where a giant destructive blaze engulfs everything, burns all the diseases off of trees that are healthy enough to withstand it, and completely obliterates all the old and sick trees, reducing them to nutrient-rich ashes which fertilize the soil for the next generation of trees to grow into? Well, this is a video ranking and analyzing the top 20 songs on the US Spotify charts, and I'm recording it on September 30th, 2025. By the time I'm done editing this video and it goes live on the channel, Taylor Swift will have dropped her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. In case you need a reminder of what happened the last 2 times Taylor dropped a new album, it was this. Let's take one last look at some sick trees, y'all.
Stay a couple nights, then she gon' be gone. I said, baby, you should know that's what I want.
Hey guys, I'm Fay-Wolfe, this is Wally the Lizard, and 2025 has been the most stagnant year for pop music in the 21st century. And that's not just me complaining, there is empirical data to back that up. Hell, it's literally written on the Wikipedia page about this year's #1 hits with multiple citation links. But I've got some good news, y'all. It looks like, slowly but surely, at long last, the pop music scene is finally starting to move again. Out of the 20 songs that were on top of the US Spotify charts before Life of a Showgirl dropped, which are the 20 songs I'll be ranking worst to best in this video, 12 of them are songs I've not talked about in this series before. And honestly, the fact that the other 8 are still here does actually say some pretty interesting stuff about where the pop music scene is right now. Granted, none of that really applies to the worst song on this list, What I Want by Morgan Wallen and Tate McRae. I talked about it in my last video already. The fact it's still here tells us nothing except that a controlling percentage of the public has no standards, which is not a new revelation. But I'd say this song is the exception to the rule. There are some pretty interesting rumblings in the pop world right now, and those rumblings will be reflected in the songs we're discussing today. To be clear though, while there is improvement, it's not like things in the pop world aren't still pretty damn stagnant overall, so I'm just gonna try to get all my whining about that out of the way up front, which I thankfully have an excellent opportunity to do thanks to... Okay, so if you're wondering how the hell this fucking thing is still one of the biggest streaming hits in America as we quickly approach Halloween, it's because Who by Jimin has been randomly shooting up and down the Spotify charts all throughout 2025, often dozens of spots at a time at random intervals. I could personally only speculate as to why that is, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that the song has been stewing in a quagmire of streaming fraud controversies for most of the year, which I'm sure hasn't resulted in Spotify constantly tinkering with the song's stats behind the scenes as they try to work out how many of the hundreds of millions of alleged fraudulent streams deserve to be disqualified. Nah, I'm not suggesting that at all. I mean, you know what would happen to me if I said that out loud. Seriously, I'm so glad that K-pop is becoming a normier and a normier thing with each passing year. Not just because diversity is just a good thing in general, but also because it weakens the claims of advocacy for the scrappy underdog idols that the most devoted soldiers of the Stan armies use to justify being such demented freaks. Really, I know I should have just disqualified this one from the ranking and instead talked about The Subway by Chappell Roan, which was one spot outside the top 20, but quite frankly, the fact that the Midwest Princess is hitting such a sophomore slump that a weird data fluke was all it took for this clapped out piece of shit to outchart her is precisely one of those things that really says a huge amount about where pop music is right now. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Who by Jimin, the pop song that 2025 fucking deserves, apparently.
Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me. But it turns out me and you together's why it took so long. Cause I got better since you got gone.
At this point, I'm completely lost as to why millions of Americans continue to listen to Morgan Wallen, and not because of who he is, not even because I think so much of the music is bad, but because, like, how are y'all not bored out of your minds by this?
Friends you hated ain't said one word. My friends say let her go. Besides, you got better since you lost her. Your friends say what the hell, I wouldn't trade your kind of love for nothing else.
Time is a flat circle, and Morgan Wallen is its protractor. Oh, and to any advertisers listening, I just want to clarify that this is actually what I'm referring to whenever I call Morgan Wallen a massive tool. Okay, so at this point, I think I am literally the last terminally online person on the planet who has not watched K-pop Demon Hunters yet. And trust me, I do plan to watch it very soon, but I figured that before I do, I should just take a moment to offer my thoughts on the film's music from the perspective of an outsider, looking at the soundtrack divorced from its context purely as the insane standalone viral sensation that it is. And as an outsider, the first thing I have to say is, wow, that Soda Pop song is really goddamn annoying. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate this. But at the same time, I'm not mad at it for that. I'm proud of it. Quite frankly, Soda Pop by the Saja Boys is one of the most conceptually successful pieces of popular art that I have ever seen. Apparently, the boy band who performs this song is secretly a group of demons in the narrative of K-pop demon hunters. And in the context of the film, Soda Pop is basically the demon's secret weapon used to hypnotize the gullible masses, influencing the world to turn off its brain and give the demons their life force by mindlessly consuming the song's cloying, vapid catchiness. Truth be told, I am in awe of the craftsmanship on display here. Like, these guys did their research. They managed to employ every possible trick in the book to make this song bubbly and catchy in all of the worst possible ways, to the point where I genuinely find it extremely annoying and don't really care to listen to it.
Every drop I drink up, you're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
Look, I'm a man who will look you in the eye and say that Mbop by Hanson is one of the best #1 hits of the 90s, but the phrase "you're my little soda pop" is one level of cloying too much even for me, especially paired with that dippy, bubbling synth whistle, and one of the most self-indulgent key changes I've ever heard in my life.
The wait is over, baby. Coming through me, you just can't get enough.
But again, why would I get mad at it? The song was literally designed for me to hate it. Like me specifically, the music critic. It was designed specifically for people like me to give it bad reviews. And yeah, that is exactly what I'm doing. But I also don't really have any ill will towards this song, if that makes sense. Also, I know that a lot of people are expecting me to rip into this song for being made with generative AI, but no, it wasn't. That was a mistranslation. No part of what you hear on this track is AI generated. Apparently what happened was that the writer just bounced some of his own ideas off of ChatGPT as part of his brainstorming process. He didn't generate any lyrics, and the song's production was done entirely by hand. So I'm gonna begrudgingly give this one a pass for that. Although if this is a deal breaker for you, I do completely understand. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm actually really curious what y'all think about this one.
Bad bitches only, ain't no mediocre. No, don't want no mediocre. I won't hit no mediocre.
So if you weren't aware, my friends at Talk of the Charts have completely reverse engineered the formula that Billboard uses to calculate their charts. And with that knowledge, they're able to predict what songs are going to appear on Billboard's year-end Top 100 list with very close accuracy. Here are the songs currently projected to be Billboard's top 10 biggest hits of 2025. Number 1, Die With a Smile by Bruno and Gaga. Number 2, A Bar Song by Shabuzi. Number 3, Luther by Kendrick and SZA. Number 4, Lose Control by Teddy Swims. Number 5, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Number 6, Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. Number 7, I Had Some Help by Morgie and Posty. Number 8, Apate by Rosie and Bruno. And number 9, Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. If you weren't aware, not only are literally half of those songs also in Billboard's top 10 biggest hits of 2024, but literally every single one of those songs was released before Thanksgiving of 2024. Thankfully though, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because there is in fact one song actually released in 2025 that is going to end up as one of Billboard's top 10 biggest hits of 2025. So I guess what I'm trying to say is thank you, Alex Warren, for making this year's pop music scene more diverse and interesting.
You're taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down.
I still don't hate this. I don't think you're ever gonna get me to truly hate this, but for those of you who do hate it, believe me, I get it. The more time goes on, the harder this song's general vibe of NPC music for the worst timeline gets to ignore. And if you're fully against this song for that reason, you probably deserve more respect than I do.
I wanna let my head down while I'm staring down your face. Wanna go till lights out. Take it right back to my place.
Okay, so apparently this particular tune is the theme song for F1, a Brad Pitt movie about racing that I have never heard of, despite it being apparently one of the biggest box office hits of the year. Fair enough, I guess. This does sound like the theme song for a sports drama about a sport where you sit in a machine and press a pedal.
I love it when he turns left and then he turns left again and...
Here for the night, you ain't biting in. Just keep watching. Just keep watching.
I don't understand why this song sounds like this. Tate McRae can do EDM. 1035 with Tiesto was an excellent club song, and it's not the only good one she has, so I have no idea why she and Ryan Tedder decided the best direction to take this was to basically just make a Jersey club song if it was straight Oklahoma club.
One by one, some one by one. Twist my wrist.
Just Keep Watching by Tate McRae, the song from the movie that got big because there were no other movies, from the pop star who got big because there were no other pop stars. Also, fair warning, if you do like this one, then I suggest skipping ahead about 20 seconds because I'm about to ruin it for you by playing these two clips back to back.
Cause like this, start with a track. Eyes on me, arch my back.
Thighs like what? Baby, move your butt. I think I'll sing it again.
Good luck on hearing that one.
Here we go again, crying in bed. What a familiar feeling.
This is the fan favorite sleeper hit from Sabrina's new album, which, yeah, of course this is the TikTok hit. It's the one that sounds the most like annoying clown music, but that's not the only reason why I really don't care for this. I have to be brutally honest. As someone who absolutely adored Sabrina's last album, this was the song that forced me to look inwards and ask myself why exactly I ever liked her in the first place. Okay, that's a little bit harsh. This album wasn't terrible, nor is this song really, but Nobody's Son is the song that took certain cracks in Sabrina's public image that I had been overlooking and made them impossible to ignore. Sabrina Carpenter's appeal is that she takes the listener on this fun roller coaster of bad decisions and mean girl tea sharing, all presented in a fun, dolled up, retro chic package. But we're at the point now where I think she's starting to hit the Morgan Wallen level, where I'm like, okay, you are really milking your shtick now. To the point where you're kind of forcing me to wonder how many of these uglier aspects to your persona are really being done ironically. And look, I know that it's pop music. It's literally designed for the listener to take it only as seriously as they want to, but I'm sorry, the reason Sabrina Carpenter is the only pop star besides Taylor putting up huge numbers like this is because she's the only one right now who's inseparably weaving an ironclad public persona into her art, walking this fine line between being a catty tease who wants other girls to taste her on their ex's lips, and a sympathetic girl failure who cracks jokes when she trips in her heels. It's a fun bit, and she is talented enough to pull it off, but only if she doesn't do shit like, oh, I don't know, put out 2 songs in a row where she blames a man's bad behavior on his mom.
When I choose to blame your mom, you raised him to love me, maybe. Yes, I'm talking about your baby.
Yeah, that's a really questionable 2 nickels moment, especially when apparently one of the things Sabrina considers bad behavior in a man is exercising emotional control instead of just ravaging her without thinking.
Gave in, reach out, but no siree. He discovered self-control.
Again, I know it's meant to be cute and ironic. I know she's probably just complaining about shitty men who use therapy language to get out of commitments. But I mean, come on, she's literally using therapy language for her own ends in the song.
That boy is corrupt. Get PTSD on the daily.
When I hear Sabrina say, I'm getting PTSD because your mom didn't raise you to love me specifically, it just comes across as bratty in a way that's really not that fun and just strikes a really sour note for me. So yeah, not a fan. And if you think I'm being too harsh on this, please know that I was originally intending on putting this a good few spots lower until my gut told me that Sabrina deserved more benefit of the doubt that I was giving her. So yeah, don't complain. Me calling this mediocre is me being nice to it.
Baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Yeah, no, sorry, guy. You have not earned my interest. Have fun with your 15 minutes, though. Okay, fine, 30 minutes. You know what? Fine. I'm man enough to admit when I got something wrong. The summer of 2025 was quite possibly the worst possible time I could have come across somber. I'm not especially fond of the 1975 at the best of times, and I did not make it a secret that I was not in a particularly charitable mental state in my last video. So the 1975 but make it a whiny teenager? Yeah, like actually my kryptonite, dude. Obviously, I'm a bit more stable now, and I can see just how much of that forest I was missing for the spindly little birch tree whining into the mic in front of me. Because, yeah, even if it's not to my taste, I definitely should have recognized that both of Somber's breakthrough hits showed an insane amount of promise. Primarily because, and this was something I completely missed the first time, he self-produces all of his music by himself. So yeah, definitely not a talent to be overlooked. Even if I still don't think that either of those 2 songs fully come together for me, I fully concede that Undressed has some damn fine hook work to it, while Back to Friends is an extremely effective demonstration of control over a large amount of sonic space. This kid has an insane future of behind-the-scenes work in front of him at the very least. As a critic, I should have been able to look past my own biases and recognize his talent. And for that, I apologize.
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에.
And here we have it. The big one. The single biggest intrusion of 4th graders into the space of pop culture obsessed man-children since Minecraft Steve made it into Smash Bros. Golden by Huntrix, the centerpiece and most iconic song of K-pop demon hunters, hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and staying there for nearly 2 months. And whatever else you want to say about this song, I don't want to hear anyone argue that it hasn't earned it. Several of my friends either babysit or have kids of their own, and they've told me that this song is making Let It Go look like a passing fad. Every child in America is fucking obsessed with this thing. Even in a pop scene that wasn't completely dead, this song still would have made a seriously impressive showing on the pop charts. And I, for one, am 100% here for it. Or, at least I was for the first week before it bore itself out on me in record time, same way it did for everyone else.
We're going up, it's our moment. Together we're glowing.
Look, Golden by Huntrix is a song with a lot of immediate appeal. A good catchy K-pop crossover with inspirational lyrics that are just barely interesting enough to avoid fight song syndrome, topped off with a wild vocal performance that pushes the singer's voice to some truly insane places.
Our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're born to be.
Apparently, in the context of the film, Golden is basically the demon hunter's secret weapons the same way Soda Pop is the demons. Like, the lead singer of Huntrix needs to overcome her insecurities and damaged vocal cords in order to hit those high notes on this song to power up and save the day. And yes, it is absolutely goddamn hysterical that a song that is explicitly designed to be difficult for supernatural deities to sing is the one that every parent in the country is now hearing their 7-year-old attempt on loop. Again, just like Soda Pop, it's a really cool use of metatext that seems utterly fascinating in the context of the film. But yeah, even in context, you have a song that is literally explicitly meant to be showy and try hard, and it's way more evident out of context, especially when you have a really obvious counterpoint to compare it to.
That's my life, please settle down, get let's see, be alright.
This is I Am by Ivy, one of the biggest global K-pop hits of 2023, and yeah, the comparison points here are not subtle. I mean, how many K-pop songs do you hear in 12/8 time? Let alone ones with basically the same melody. Yeah, I Am is basically Golden, just with better production and without the insane demon-killing vocal flexing. So what we're left with is two songs that are different in the same way that Mariah Carey and Christina Aguilera are different. One effortless talent who's in heaven every moment she's creating her art, and one show-off who won't be satisfied until an audience is applauding her for every trick her vocal pipes can pull off. And again, like Soda Pop, I can't even get mad at that. Golden is literally doing exactly what it's supposed to do in the context of the movie, but I'm not judging this song in the context of a movie. I'm judging it as a song that's been #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 weeks, getting extensive radio play and dwarfing the releases of real-world pop stars. And in that context, it's a song that does have things to like in it, but which I also really don't see holding a place in pop music outside of its soundtrack as soon as the kids have moved on to something else.
X on the line, just as I suspected. No one really gets over me. I'm unaffected.
And on the subject of pop music's absolute biggest stars continuing to strike out, if that's gonna keep happening, I'm at least glad the vacuum is being seized by smaller but no less beloved stars finally taking their chance to break in and get some proper hits. So you know what? Sure, why not? Tinashe Dance Remix, let's do it.
So good, makes no sense. Badass bitch with my badass friends. No broke boys, ain't no shade. Fuck on me, then you know he paid.
This is just about as straightforward and basic of a pop crossover as you could possibly think of. Taking the offbeat little transition piece, which led into the Match My Freak song on Tinashe's album, and remixing it into one of the most basic, what you see is what you get club songs to have found popular success in years. It's very clear what this is for. I can picture the exact TikToks that this song will be used for in my head, and I honestly kind of hate them, but that's not the song's fault. It's nothing special, nothing new, nothing particularly interesting outside of the woman who made it, and I really do hope that some of Tinashe's more compelling work gets spotlighted on the pop charts soon. But as a fit-for-purpose dance piece complete with some nice nostalgic Web 2.0 chiptune synths, yeah, I'm fine with this being here.
And if it feels right, we could go again like we for time.
I can't get over how bizarre it is that this song was in my spring top 20 ranking, dropped out of the summer ranking, and is now back in the top 20 for the fall. I've been doing this top 20 ranking series for 8 years now, and the only other time I ever remember something like that happening is when Lucid Dreams popped back into the top 10 in 2019 after Juice WRLD died. As for why it happened for Sports Car, I really don't know. I mean, there's no viral trend tied to it that I know of. The album came out in February, so it's not getting a boost off of that. I really think the only reason it's still here is just because 2025 has only had like 12 different actual hits in it, and they all just keep on swapping places up and down the charts as absolutely nothing new happens to replace them. So congrats, Tate. I guess you're one of the big girls now. And this is a solid and interesting pop song. If any Tate McRae song had to stick around, I am glad that it's this one. But still, like, it's hard to imagine going back to 2021, telling people that the You Broke Me First girl making her own version of a Yin Yang Twins song would outperform everything Doja Cat and Bad Bunny did in that same year and not break down crying.
I get wet for you. Being a responsible guy.
Alright, Alright, so here we have it, the giant new crossover smash from the new it girl of 2020's pop music. And it's doing... fine. It's hanging around. People are listening to it. It is among the more popular songs in the United States right now. I mean, it's no Beautiful Things or Lose Control, but hey, what is?
Tears run down my thighs.
I feel the need to clarify once again that I loved every single that Sabrina Carpenter put out in 2024, and really, the fact that what should be an obvious crossover hit has a chorus that goes, "I get wet at the thought of you and tears run down my thighs," that is incredible. It's such a fucking power move for a pin-up pop princess to give such a direct middle finger to the radio like that. By all outward appearances, this should be an easy slam dunk for me, but... like...
A little respect for women can get you very, very far. Maybe just do the dishes, I'll give you what you want. Offering to do anything, I'm like, oh my god.
Let me tell you a story real quick. A few years ago, a girl I had just started dating asked me to get an STD test before we did anything, just as a precautionary thing. I knew that I was clean, but I figured, okay, whatever. So I went over to the clinic the next day, and I texted her the results back as soon as I got them. And she was literally so amazed that I did that for her that she teared up with gratitude and texted her friends bragging that she found a man who would do that for her. The fact that I didn't whine about it when a girl asked me to prove that I wasn't about to give a literal disease to her was apparently enough to turn me into a standout example of a good man. And that was neither the first nor the last time that I, as a man, have been showered with fawning praise for doing the absolute bare minimum when it comes to dating. All this is to say, I know that Sabrina is joking here. I know she's trying to say, haha, isn't the idea of me being turned on by a man showing bare minimum responsibility funny and ironic? But no, I'm sorry, ma'am. You have broken Poe's law with this song. I can't vibe with Tears by Sabrina Carpenter for the same reason I've lost the ability to get through a John Oliver episode these days. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't care what epic zingers you throw at these ass clowns. The state of things makes me too fucking sad to laugh at jokes about how the bar for human behavior is literally in hell now. Again, I know. It's a pop song. Not thinking about it is a perfectly acceptable option. And it does sound really good. It's up this high for a reason. But, like, fucking hell, man.
Like sugar on my tongue, your body is so sweet.
Look, the fact that the state of the world keeps slipping back into my analysis whether I want it to or not is kind of inevitable. I think that not factoring that in while analyzing pop culture in 2025 means you're simply just not doing your job as a critic. But at the same time, I get that it can be exhausting. I'm sick of it too. And so, for that reason, I am disproportionately thankful that the ever-enigmatic Tyler, the Creator, chose this exact moment to push the single least challenging, most overthink-resistant piece that he has ever cooked up.
Like sugar on my tongue. Can I stay back from you?
This is the Dark Thoughts by Lil Tecca of this season. It's a better and more impressive song than Dark Thoughts, which ironically probably makes it less effective as a Dark Thoughts, but I don't really care because I get it and I like it. Sugar on My Tongue by Tyler, the Creator is a song about a man who enjoys cunnilingus and making strange music and has decided to fuse these hyperfixations together. If a song that sounds like this and or is about this topic is something you're not interested in, you are not going to enjoy it. Simple as. Honestly, I'm just glad that the first thing that pops into my mind when I think of this generation's signature anthem for nectar hunting no longer has to be this face. Have you ever heard of the phrase, the purpose of a system is what it does? It was coined by a British theorist and business consultant named Stafford Beer, and what it means in essence is that at a certain point, the intentions, grander ideas, and hypothetical notions underlying an operating system ultimately stop mattering, and that you just need to accept that the observable end results are what ought to be used to define that system's role in the world. It's a very handy and interesting rule of thumb to have in your back pocket, which really can help put things into perspective at the times when you really need it the most. Sometimes the purpose of a system is what it is, and sometimes when a piece of music gives you a pleasant and engaging sensation when you're listening to it, and yet for some reason you feel absolutely no desire to return to it whatsoever, that just means that as much as it seems like it should be a masterpiece, its actual quality is nothing more than just pretty solid. Sometimes when a song is such a massive sleeper hit that it sticks around for a full year and you can still barely remember how it goes or what any of its lyrics are, maybe you just have to say, this is an impressive piece of work, but it's not for me. Sorry.
And no, it's hard to say, but I wish you were right here.
Love Me Not by Raven Lenae is to 2025 what Booed Up by LMI was to 2018. Like, I have no idea where this person came from. I have no idea why something that sounds like this is big right now, but what the hell. It's a song that's just self-evidently good in a way that really doesn't merit in-depth discussion. Everyone likes it, and it's one of the few big hits this year that the radio is actually cool with playing, so fuck it. I'm not looking this gift horse in the mouth. Hey guys, real quick before we get to the top 5, there is something I just want to tell you guys and ask you guys about real quick. Recently, YouTube has implemented a new feature called hyping videos, which basically means after you give a video a like, if the video is made by a creator with less than 500,000 subscribers, you can hype that video within the first 7 days after it goes live. There should be a hype button on the scroll bar above the comments when you use YouTube Mobile, and if you click that, it hypes the video. This is a program that YouTube is using to let smaller creators like me get more exposure, and I'm pretty sure that this is the first video of mine where I've taken all the proper steps behind the scenes to allow it to be hyped. So what I need you guys to do is please do me a favor and give this video a like, and then specifically on YouTube Mobile, click the hype button if you see it. I know the system is rolling out right now and it's still a little bit glitchy. Like, I've personally tried to hype other people's videos before and it isn't giving me the option. Like, I just don't see the button on there, so I don't know if it's going to be there for you guys, and quite frankly, I'm not even 100% positive I've taken all of the steps behind the scenes to do it, but I am pretty sure that I've taken those steps. So if you could do me a favor, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could hit the like button and then hype the video if you see it. And if you don't see the ability to hype this video, please leave a comment below letting me know that it's not letting you hype my video so that I become aware that YouTube isn't letting me hype the videos and I can get to the bottom of why. Thank you so much, pardon me for the intrusion, and now let's take a look at the top 5 songs of the season. Okay, so this was one of the absolute last things on earth I expected to say when 2025 started, but I think I have a new favorite Justin Bieber song.
Take your time, honey, I get it. Way you got me all in my head.
Justin Drew Bieber, the most successful male pop icon of the 2010s, is completely and totally done with this shit. If you're Justin Bieber, you do not come back from a 4-year hiatus with an album called Swag that sounds the way this album does if you have any remaining investment in your career as a recording artist. I mean, you can hear it on this song. Bieber is absolutely exhausted. He is so fucking sick of having to be Justin Bieber. He clearly wants to put his entire life as a child star behind him and just focus on spending his time chilling with his money and his wife. Every bit of that frustration is clearly being projected on record, and by God, is that sense of longing palpable and effective.
Counting the days, how many days till I can see you again? Oh, my love.
Justin Bieber's job since he was 15 years old has been to be a voice and a face without a heart. And so I guess it figures that the song where his voice is seething with exhaustion and contempt for his job is the truest expression of his heart that I've ever seen from the man. Producer Mick G is dragging this song kicking and screaming into being good. The guitar on the chorus literally sounds like a giant toddler stomping around and having a temper tantrum, but it works. The vibes of the song glide back and forth between submission and intensity in a bizarrely satisfying way, especially with the really nice vocal blending in the bridge, as well as a few lines that are way too well written to be in a Justin Bieber song.
Give me a red, baby, but I still get the message. Instead of a line, it's 3 dots, but I can connect them.
Daisies is the only hit from the album. Quite frankly, I suspect it might be the last Justin Bieber hit that we ever get, and if that is the case, then somehow I think the Bieber himself would be absolutely fine with that, and Daisies would go down in history as one of the most fascinating caps that the career of any A-list superstar has ever had, on top of being a deceptively fantastic piece in its own right.
I lay on your rooftop in the freezing cold, and I watch the sunset wearing all your clothes.
So there's a trend in pop music which has been bubbling up and building steam for a while now. A trend which I've heard called by the hysterical but absolutely fitting name of ovulation music. This is music that's very cutesy and feminine, has a very thick atmosphere, generally about a simmering attraction finally bubbling over, and whose primary emotional sentiment is something to the effect of, I am ready for you to put a baby in me right fucking now. Examples would be Diet Pepsi by Addison Rae, Juno by Sabrina Carpenter, Naked in Manhattan by Chappell Roan, basically anything that sounds like it was written by a TikTok girl Billie who listened to Love Me Like You Do on loop when she was a teenager. It's a distinctive undercurrent of pop music right now that I'm surprised hasn't seen more widespread success. I have a hunch we're going to be seeing more of it on the hit parade very soon, and I bring it up because Sienna by the Marias is basically a song mourning the loss of the same feeling that ovulation music gives you. This is a heart-rending song about mourning the future you were sure you would have with someone, a feeling personified by the grief over letting go of the mental image of the baby you were sure that you were going to have with your partner.
With a temper like you, run around like you, jumping in the pool like you.
As a song, I'm still a bit hesitant to fully embrace this. It's such an intensely personal story about a life experience I have never even come close to experiencing that I do feel a bit distant from it, but I do recognize this as an extremely effective example of what it is. I'm glad that we finally gave the Marias some more room to play with because they are using it damn well.
I'll love you till the day that I die.
Okay, so this song is perfect and it's time for it to leave. And this song is perfect and it literally just got here.
Come be the man I need. Tell me you got something to give. I want it. I kinda like it when you call me wonderful.
Yes, correct move, America. Your homegrown pop stars are failing and giving you less than nothing, so yeah, this is a perfect time to import some new pop hits from the UK. Very good call. Here's a fun fact about the UK charts. Ever since Someone You Loved, literally every new single Lewis Capaldi dropped went straight to #1. And yet this song, Man I Need by Olivia Dean, was powerful enough to team up with Golden to strand his new single at #3 before promptly knocking Golden down to claim the top spot for itself, as it fucking deserves.
Stop making me read between the lines. Already know I can leave it alone. You're on my mind.
Man I Need by Olivia Dean is a perfect song, and I don't mean that in terms of it being the most revolutionary or mind-blowing thing in the world. No, I mean it is simply a piece of art that is devoid of any technical impurities. Perfect in the same way Rather Be by Clean Bandit is perfect. There is not a single thing wrong with this song. Every element of it is simply and elegantly correct and in the exact place it ought to be. Flawless and endearing vocal delivery, the most efficiently beautiful and alluring set of pop lyrics in years, and a smooth as butter ebb and flow of momentum. Seriously, every time I think it's about to peter out, that talk to me pops in at the exact moment it's supposed to.
Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Be the man that I need, baby.
So yeah, ideal song, and quite frankly, it deserves to be at #1 on this ranking. But I'm not giving it that spot, because quite frankly, I made an apology earlier, and it's time for me to stand by it. So I know that y'all hate when I do this, but this time, in this particular circumstance, I hope that you forgive me and understand why I'm doing it when I say I'm not going to go in depth on this song right now because I'm saving it for the best list. Because yes, this song will be making my best list this year. 12 to 12 by Somber is one of the best songs of 2025, hit or otherwise. And I have never been so proud to make a 5-course feast out of my own foot than I am right now. More details about my thoughts on this song will come at a later date, and so for the moment, I will say one thing and I will keep it very simple. This song represents the future of what 2020's pop music could be, and I think that this kid might just be the one to bring us there. We can only hope. With that, we are done with the main ranking, and it's officially time for the bonus round. You see, because I talk about copyrighted materials, I literally make no money from ads on these videos. I am 100% reliant on you guys to support me on Patreon if I'm going to keep making these videos. And as one of the perks of being a patron, you get to vote and comment on the songs I talk about in these videos for the patron fan ranking. So without further ado, let's see what my patrons had to say about the music of fall 2025. And as you watch, remember that if you'd like to take part in the next ranking and submit your own reviews, you can do so for a pledge of just $2 per video on Patreon. Link in the description for more info.
It's what I want.
That's what I want, that's what I want.
No. Day worseningly cynical. Tate McRae's first #1 hit, everyone. What an indictment of pop culture this is. Tate, you do realize part of why the Britney influence works pretty well is because we like Britney, right? Good lord, the mixing of Tate and Morgan's vocals is atrocious. They both sound bad on their own, but combined, they just form goopy, unlistenable slop. The fact that Tate hasn't acknowledged it at all since it came out is pretty damning indictment of its quality, even if she doesn't care about it. Possibly the worst big pop radio hit of my lifetime. I'd be ecstatic if everyone involved with this was never allowed to record music again. I am morbidly curious to see what Tom Bryhan will write about this in 2 years' time.
Then tell me why I haven't found you.
Who? More like, where did those streams go? This is the fakest popular song of all time. Guys, I have a confession. I've been paying to bought this song on Spotify for an entire year. Single-handedly ruined the US Spotify charts. Who asked this song to still be here a year later? Why is this eardrum piercer still here? Didn't this die off like months ago? I know there's been a ton of holdovers, but I also know this is not one of them. What the hell is going on? The more I hear this song, the less I can make sense of what in God's name I'm hearing. Why are those vocals so screechy? This song legitimately makes me feel like I'm about to get a migraine if I listen to it any longer. Sounds like just the wrong amount of pitch correction to make it sound like it's been time stretched, but with all the artifacts from that process not being cleaned up. Would have been a 4 out of 5 if the mixing wasn't so terrible. I have never heard this song in full before this, but it still felt overplayed. If you told me this was from a member of one of the biggest and most influential K-pop groups in recent memory, I would not believe you.
'Cause I got better since you got gone.
No, you didn't. Just shut the hell up, you idiot. I just can't with this guy. Do you think this is what he says in the mirror as a self-affirmation to get over the existential horror of being Morgan Wallen? I can tell you got better, Morgan, but the difference is kind of negligible. This song is really brought down by the fact it's being performed by Morgan Wallen. It's one of the better songs from this bloated mess of a project. The fact that I'm still rating it a 1 should say everything about how I feel about the album. One of the more tolerable Morgan Wallen songs is still somehow bitter, misogynistic, and hacky. Oh yeah, Morgan, it's never your fault. Always the girl's fault. Ugh. Morgan, who told you these were reasonable things to say to anyone? I don't need to hear your caricature of a southern accent being rude to your ex. I am so tired of country artists who hate their girls. Can we please just get a happy ending for one? This is actually a completely listenable piece of country. So of course Morgie had to poison it all with a really pissy and spiteful sentiment. Morgan Wallen is the great value brand of country music. I'll believe you've gotten better when you make another song as great as Sand in My Boots, Morgan, which doesn't seem like it's going to be happening anytime soon.
The angels up in the clouds, I jealous knowing we found.
More like ordinary, am I right? I can feel it gnawing at the edges of me when I'm forced to listen to it. This might not be the worst example of how shit of a year 2025 has been, but it is definitely the easiest example to point to. I didn't care about this much until I started hearing it in Ubers, and now I want this song to be erased from history. Surprisingly, it actually gets better the more I hear it. The Still Annoyed Bloodliner on my mind word bigger though. I love the theatricality, but I get why people feel like it's empty and plantation wedding core. It would go perfectly with a Cirque du Soleil high wire act. I'd still take this over Beautiful Things any day of the week. These short form content that he's been posting to accompany that music is pretty charming, and I'm reasonably certain that he's probably at least a good guy. I just never want to hear this song again, and the numbers he's pulling basically have ensured that we're going to hear this song forever. Not a good time for this to be a retail store favorite the year I'm forced to stop taking my antidepressants. There's a video of an Alex Warren concert where the crowd is silent and then someone yells at Alex to shut the fuck up. I hope that someone has a cold pillow, warm blanket, working phone charger, gets cracked by Sabrina Carpenter, and makes hundreds in tips from one customer. Not the worst song of the year, but the song I'm least happy to call a smash hit. I choose to interpret Ground of Your Sanctuary as a feat thing.
Just like this, here for the night, doing burning, just keep watching.
I am watching. Stop distracting me, Tate. This year, I learned that a shit ton of people actually care about Formula One. How is doing this ranking the first time I've heard of the Formula One movie? Well, this is a bit of a left turn. That joke would be funny if this was for a NASCAR movie. I'm more pissed that this was given to Tate over Tyla more than anything else. Another amazing song from Tate that would be a perfect song for street racing. Every time I hear this song, I think, I don't remember this being good, only for that limp-ass hook to bring me back to reality. Guys, I had this horrible dream last night that one of the biggest hits of the year was this weird lo-fi edit of an 8-year-old Major Lazer song with this horrible pop drop that sounded like someone drowning Pingu. Song of the summer, according to MTV. This is the pop girly 2025 deserves. She's really got nothing to sustain her unless you're watching her dance or need something to look forward to in a retail setting. Notice how it's called Just Keep Watching instead of Just Keep Listening? Oh, I'll keep watching, but I'm definitely gonna keep you on mute.
Wanna get closer, the way you got me all in my head.
How have we gotten to a point where Justin Bieber is a breath of fresh air. I like this one a lot. Very laid back with great singing from Bieber. What is happening in music right now that there's 2 songs on this list incorporating the love me not pedal-picking child activity? The point of Justin Bieber these days is for his producers to flex on their talents because Justin Bieber is just a blank canvas turned into a pop star. That drum fill after the Cupid line might be the best 2 seconds in pop music all year. We need more artists who do what Dijon is doing. This isn't quite that, but even a bungled attempt still sounds quite nice. Bieber has generally been real weird about his wife. It is probably outright miraculous that I can genuinely feel the love for her from this song. Shocked by how much I like this one. I really like the guitar line in particular. Is this the Bieber Renaissance? It seems nice and personal until you see 8 people worked on the lyrics. It sounds like maybe he's trying to be better than his past couple projects, but it still manages to fade into the background for me. I can't be the only one who thinks this sounds like a middle school orchestra practice session. It sounds fun enough, but I can't help but feel that Justin has lost that sheen that all his previous hits, even the not good ones, have. Man, this Justin Bieber song sure does exist, doesn't it? Somehow that's one of the nicer things I can say about a song from Swag. Not gonna lie, I am very worried for Justin Bieber's mental health. Justin Bieber needs to stop making music. 5 out of 5.
Here we go again, crying in bed. What a familiar feeling.
Sabrina, there is always a second option if you can't get a man, I'm just saying. So this is what it sounds like to be influenced by 2020's Taylor Swift. Really funny, and it'll be a joy to scream on tour. Were those the In the Air Tonight drums? I really love the production, but something just seems off to me. Why does everything sound so disjointed in this song? Is it supposed to sound this off-putting? At least when Juice WRLD made this song 7 years ago, it wasn't fucking Jack Antonoff cod reggae. It feels like it needs to be a bit faster. At its current speed, it's a bit too laid back and meandering for any of its jabs to have the impact they're meant to. I think Sabrina may have finally lost the sauce, and that's coming from someone who actually liked Man-Child. Generic processed meringue with a hint of strawberry thrown in. Thumbs down. The worst song on Man's Best Friend, and it's not even close. I really think Sabrina Carpenter is in need of some serious self-reflection about why her relationships don't work out, just saying. Whenever I hear Sabrina jokingly say, "Could you raise your son to love me," or kick someone to the curb for wanting distance to emotionally mature, I hear someone who likes to keep control of someone for their own amusement. Red flags coming out the wazoo. The lyrics are pretty toxic, but I can enjoy it quite a bit if I turn my brain off and just vibe to the production and Sabrina's voice. I should find this attitude completely immature and asshole-ish, but I get from personal experience the feeling of being annoyed that a potential romantic partner suddenly shuts you out because they're not ready. It's still not a good song, but I get it. Why does she call it Nobody's Son when she's a girl? Is she stupid? I do not get Tate McRae at all. Every time I listen to this song, it makes me want to say nudge nudge, you know what I mean? Nudge nudge. I had the lyrics up and I still have trouble hearing her enunciate. With how sick this beat is and the wispy delivery, I think I'm starting to be convinced. Tate's talented. I'm glad she's getting a second chance. She definitely reheated Britney Spears' nachos, but the nachos are delicious. If we are going to have a Tate McRae, I will take this Tate McRae. ASMR core, rise up. Tate McRae SMR. I haven't heard this in a while on purpose and decided to give this song another shot. Turned it off after 1 minute. This is so unpleasant and uncomfortable to listen to. I cannot imagine writing a song meant to be seductive and using the phrase "oh golly gee" in any capacity. "Oh golly gee" and "can we have convinced me that Tate said crikey the first time she kissed the Kid Laroi. Tate McRae and the Kid Laroi have broken up. It's okay, Tate, my DMs are open. The Kid Laroi, what color is your Bugatti?
No broke boys, no new pants. I'm not rich, give me my test.
It's been a while since we've had a proper dance remix become a hit, huh? Gives me serious 2012 to 13 vibes. The song is so UK clubcore that I'm actually kind of surprised it's charting in the US. This kind of thing only ever hits on the other side of the pond, and I had to make sure I hadn't transported myself into an alternate reality where I suddenly have a massive truck and an even bigger healthcare bill. A Tanashi dance pop remix becoming a big hit was not something I saw coming, but I welcome it. It's catchy and says what it means. At first I liked it, but it quickly crossed over into super annoying. The most generic track on this list, which will be forgotten in like a month. It's a bop though. The opening 40 seconds is honestly one of my favorite moments of pop music this year. Then it sticks to the same melody for the other 2 minutes of the song and it kinda loses me. The song is bad, but it's bad in a very 90s kind of way. The more boring music gets, the more I appreciate something that fails in the same way Cotton Eye Joe fails. The original's already not one of her best, but at least it had a nice West Coast bounce to go with the hook. Disco Lion's production just turns it into mush. Is this what happens when I simultaneously wish on a monkey's paw for both getting Tanashi another hit and getting another massive dance hit in the States? This and 2 On confirm my theory about Tanashi. She's at her best when she plays second fiddle to a DJ or producer. Quality song. Overplay ruins it for me, but otherwise pretty good. Never before have I been so ambivalent to a song while also dancing to it. Why can't we just get Tanashi a proper hit? When Tanashi wished for someone to match my freak, I assumed her first choice wasn't a house DJ named Thaddeus.
Refreshing. My little soda pop.
The only song in K-pop Demon Hunters that sounds like it was written to be the generic pop song for a fake boy band in a kid's movie. I love that this is technically a villain song in the context of the film. I love when the public takes a clear parody of shallow pop hits and turns it into an actual pop hit. So deliciously unself-aware. Well, my soul is getting stolen because I love this song. You've got that one thing, teenage female fan. You've got that one unnamed thing that makes me love you. Swoon, damn it. Kinda glad the girls got the big aspirational song and the guys have the cutesy flirtatious one. It works as being intentionally bad corporate music. Doesn't mean I like it though. BTS with the charisma of the guys from Pitch Perfect. Okay, fellow Netflix employees, just in case this movie doesn't do too well, we should make sure we can, at the very least, sell one of these songs to Pepsi for commercials or something. K-pop Demon Hunters was clearly made by people who are deeply fascinated by K-pop and its industry. Only real fans would be able to write a new song that captured the brutal, soul-draining sweetness of Dynamite by BTS. Part of me is a little sad this song wasn't actually AI, because it would be thematically in character for the generic boy band to be literally algorithmically generated. All the other parts of me are glad it isn't, because the day we have an actual AI-generated hit is the day I stop caring about popular music.
Tears run down my thighs.
I have no evidence for this hypothesis, but I think people are going to have a real stick up their ass about this. Everyone who said the album cover was pro-patriarchy probably died inside when they saw the VMA performance of this. I think all the people having discourse about Sabrina Carpenter don't actually care about what they're saying. I think they're just tired of the shtick and are trying to find a real reason to hate. You know how to assemble furniture, use a phone, treat women well. I'm so wet. Like, what's the joke? This is one of the rare times Sabrina's trademark sense of humor misfired for me. Love Island core. I just like that jazzy funk sound. I don't think she's released a truly amazing song yet. This one's pretty good though. Reminds me of Coconuts, but with no Dr. Luke on my conscience, confirming this as Espresso 2.0. The song would be higher if the responsible guy part of the chorus didn't feel so awkward. If you don't like that hook, well, this is gonna be a long-ass 2.5 minutes. Aw, she's so sad, her tears are streaming all the way down to her leg. Wait, as a sex-repulsed asexual, I think Sabrina should be allowed to sing about whatever it is that gets her off. That said, I'm starting to think she needs higher standards. The idea of Sabrina being uncontrollably turned on by basic competence makes this a much more precise call-out than Man-Child, and also a lot funnier. Yeah, it's just one joke over and over, and it's way too on the nose to be funny, but it sounds really good, so it's hard to be too mad about that. Life would be so much fun if I got wet every time a man assembled an IKEA chair. Why does Sabrina need somebody to build furniture for her when she's already a carpenter?
Out of public child, 'cause I got too wild, but now that's how I'm getting paid.
A movie soundtrack dominating a mid-as-hell chart year? Close enough, welcome back 2022. I heard this song on the radio in a hospital waiting room in Ireland. I knew this song was popular, but I didn't realize it was gets played on Irish radio popular. Does it work in the context of the movie? Absolutely. Do I want to hear Rumi strain her voice every time she hits that high note at every waking moment? Absolutely not. Man, this song does not hold up to overplay. Maybe they should have gone down, down, down with their voices. Are you ready to hear the next generation of the voice singers attempt that A6? I'm not. We've officially found a case of the Christina Aguilera effect, where oversinging is used to compensate for the song not being interesting. K-pop Demi Lovato. Is it possible to be sterile in a genre that's known for its overpolish? The fact the writer said they were inspired by Drake's Forever and Biggie's Juicy when creating this, and the end product was synth-pop fight song is fucking hilarious. It sounds like fight song if it was 10 times louder and 50 times more basic. The vocals are impressive, but they're mixed like shit, so they sound awful actually. I understand if this movie isn't for you, but I'm pretty sure 90% of the haters haven't seen it, and they're just masculine middle school boys trying to be cool or impress their fine shirts or whatever the hell they call girls they like. Not a bad attempt at recycling Ivy's nachos, I gotta say. Being a 14-year-old K-pop stan, this is kinda surreal. K-pop was cringe back then, and now it's #1 on the biggest chart in the US. Oh, how the turntables. I hope it gets nominated for Best Song at next year's Oscars. If it does, I think it has a good chance of winning. Getting a soundtrack that slaps and sounds so good that it's actually sticking around on the charts is providing me with a bottle of water in the middle of this desolate wasteland. It's not gonna fix everything, but it'll help keep me going.
Talk to me, be the man that I need, baby.
Sabrina Carpenter has great taste in opening acts. Simple, smooth, great voice. Sometimes that's all I need. This is who Ruth B thought she was back in 2016, low-key. Her voice sounds like caramel. There were like 3 different points where I thought she was gonna launch into the chorus from Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Everything about this song and about Olivia Dean is technically great. I think I just don't like the C-sharp major chord in most cases. Sorry. So, what exactly is the hype with this one? I get it, 2025 has been a shell of what 2024 was, but like, we seriously couldn't have found a more interesting song here? Pretty much the most average 2020s pop song you could ever think of. Sounds like a deep cut from a record I found crate digging that I would become obsessed with. Smiling and kicking my feet at I Kinda Like It When You Call Me Wonderful. Incredibly one note, but that one note works. This person right here is single-handedly carrying white guys in 2025 pop music. Call him a plant all you want, he's doing the work for that fucking garbage. Truly one of the brightest names in the scene. This guy might be as one-dimensional as Olivia was on Sour, but the production and vocals are just on another level of quality. With the flood of milquetoast indie rock songs flooding the charts the last few years, it was only a matter of time before we got one that's the exact kind of milquetoast indie rock I love. Worse than 1975 is not a good enough gimmick to build a career around. I want to listen to Alabama Shakes right now. Matcha latte, Dubai chocolate, labubu, painted black nails, reading feminist literature in the park male manipulator music. My headcanon is that this is actually about the guy's crippling Netflix addiction and how he can't watch Friends anymore after binging it so many times. I gave his album a chance, and this is one of the weaker songs on it for me, and I gave it a 4. Check out Canal Street or We Never Dated for the best songs on the album. Biggest one-trick pony since Ice Spice, but it's a good trick, so he can stick around for now.
Tell the bitches that you know what you heard about me. Tell your mama.
Slightly discordant dance song about cunnilingus? Welcome back, Peaches and Cream, I missed you. You have no idea how happy I am now that he's made the Timbaland-era strip club anthem I always knew he had in him. This is what Soda Pop would have sounded like if K-pop Demon Hunters was made for an adult audience. Like, you just know they would try to compare devouring souls to eating pussy. It's so fucking refreshing to hear something this unafraid to be weird and out there in a music landscape dominated with dollar store Morgan Wallens and Alex Warren. This just reaffirms my belief that the Tyler x Gorillaz collab would go insane. I initially saw it as another bopper, but after seeing the music video, it was refreshing to see sex, especially BDSM, portrayed in such a casual, humanizing way. I appreciate that Tyler picked the most sexual, most abrasive song on the album to push as the single, even if I probably agree with the consensus that it's the worst one on the album. He be scaring y'all hoes though. I've definitely put too much time trying to figure Tyler out, when really the proper answer is to just not question it and enjoy it as he's here, because this is so good. Something about the production doesn't really click for me personally, but I could see how others could really enjoy this. Tyler devising the never before thought of answer to what the tongue do. My thanks, Tyler, for giving me a version of my humps that I can play around other people.
I'll wait here tomorrow outside your door.
Oh hey, they got noticed again. Easiest 5 I've ever given. Such a rich phenomenon of music, and it's not even in their top 5. Now I want to cry. Pretty. I want to kiss this song on the lips. Lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax and study to. Wait, this isn't the same song as the other Maria's song here? This is a lovely song. It's just not something I'd want to listen to regularly. Between this and No One Noticed, I can tell the Marias are really talented and make good music, but their songs just haven't clicked with me emotionally. I feel really bad for not being on their wavelength. Hopefully that'll change as the nights get longer. Ends a bit abruptly, but it could go on for 7 minutes and it would be just as amazing. Definite thumbs up from me. It makes me smile. I need to listen to this album again. It might actually be perfect. A song about what could have been is more heartbreaking than a song about what was 9 times out of 10. The Marias becoming consistent hitmakers is one of the genuine highlights of this awful year. More of this, please. Maria's Ardoya is amazing at casually ripping your heart out while sounding like she's taken twice the legal limit of Xanax. It's absolutely perfectly made to devastate a million people for so many different legitimate heart-wrenching reasons. Like, that is deep grief she is tapping into no matter what it's about. It's a song for when I just need to let myself accept that so many things just aren't gonna happen for me anymore. This song has altered my personhood after one listen. I'm gonna have to listen to this full album, aren't I?
And oh, it's hard to see you, but I wish you were right here.
For some reason I really want some licorice. Every so often someone just makes Sweater Weather again, and it's great because Sweater Weather is great. And this is great. It's got a Sweater Weather type beat and stolen dance type chords, a Walk on the Wild Side type bass line, and Walking on a Dream reverb. I'm sold. Zero Fatigue keeps winning, and so do I. It just slides off my brain as acceptable radio filler, which to its credit makes it among the better songs to hit the top 10 this year. The worst 2 seconds of pop music 2025 is I Wish You Were Right Here. It grows on me. It grows on me not. It grows on me. This is just X Factor by Lauryn Hill, but more immature in every single way. That being said, X Factor is probably one of the best songs of the 20th century. R&B honestly is in a really great spot right now. There's so much going on with new artists and styles, and it makes me excited what Raven Lenae will do in the future. I definitely have her on my radar. Give this woman 3 years and she'll make the best song of all time.
In a room full of people, I look for you, but you avoided me.
Go white boy, go white boy, go! Guys, I think this kid might be goated. I'm so glad the 1975 Sans Racism is also able to make an actual banger. Somber is like if Timothée Chalamet's character from Lady Bird went on to have a music career. This better do well in 2026 or I will riot. These instrumentals are insane for a guy younger than me. Somber makes a future nostalgia song sounds like a joke someone would post and get 1,000 likes, not something that not only exists but is actually one of the best hits of the year. This intro alone convinced me Somber is worth keeping. The piano chords forced me to stand like a gun to my head. This guy's got got the moves like Jagger. The song would be great on its own already, but in the pop scene of 2025, it's like trudging through the desert for months and inexplicably finding a Baskin Robbins. Somber's formula for writing is predictable at this point, as it mostly revolves around building a song off of one admittedly great quotable that makes up the chorus. That said, his production instincts are great enough to make up for his predictability, and this song may well be the best use of said production. This guy's probably not adding much to the internet's indie scene, but he could add a lot to the pop scene if he embraces his pop instincts more and keeps up these amazing sounding bridges. Somber sounding not entirely comfortable on a groove this strong while still committing to the new wave sound by putting a marimba in the post-chorus lets me know he is hashtag serious. It took a while, but we finally found a new main pop boy. Good job, guys. Embarrassing to admit I'm only listening to this now. Absolutely magical song. Wow. The psychedelic soul feel of this song is very interesting. It's really nice when you take the time to fully take it in. How sweet. Can you leave now, please? I keep waiting for this song to really click with me, and maybe one day it will. The longer I have to think about this song, the more boring it gets. The song just cruised along, and I was a little bored after a minute, but it's fine, I guess. Big fan of this band. Pleasant to listen to and really enjoyable listening. I don't cry at music much anymore, but this one has gotten me close every time. This is still definitely good, but I feel like I'm perfectly fine to hear it about half a dozen times in a year, and we're probably at about twice that at least. This and the other viral hit they're getting right now better mark an awesome future for pop music during the rest of the decade. This is so much better than the other songs here, it feels unfair to even put it in the same category. It's telling how even with this song sticking around the charts for way too long, that it's still as cool of a vibe as it was on day one. The best pure pop song of the 2020s so far, and it isn't particularly close. Billy's magnum opus. That synth line is eternal. As someone who has fallen madly in love this year, it's also Sapphic for the record, God, this song is hitting like a 3-mile long freight train. This is the kind of love I aspire to. The other repeats may be gone for the most part, but this one could stay a while. It's goddamn September. Why is this here? A 5 out of 5. Please leave and never come back. 5 out of 5. Can I go now? 5 out of 5. This song, please fuck off. 5 out of 5. This song better be out of here by next year. Jesus Christ. 5 out of 5. Hello, Billy. Nice to see your literally in every way perfect song still be around in fall of 2025. Now get out. 5 out of 5. And with that, we're all set. Please like, subscribe, leave some comments, and hype the video if it lets you. And again, please consider supporting me on Patreon so your review can appear in the next episode of this series, or just so that I can afford to keep making these completely unmonetizable videos. I'm Sean Fay-Wolfe of Diamond Axe Studios. This is Wally the Lizard. Please enjoy some song recommendations from my top patrons as we play the outro, and until next time, take care of yourselves.
No point trying to die rich, my nigga. Touch grass, step off Twitch, my nigga. Let low, I'll show you stitch, my nigga. In the UK, smoking packs, living in bread.
Hands up, Gabriella, Gabriella, hands up, Gabriella.